Welcome everyone. This is the Division D Finals. We are live at the Roadshow here in Brossard. We have on one side Frosty Bronsons, the last team to make it into the playoffs, fighting their way, each game getting closer and closer, getting into the finals, taking on one of the top seeds, one of the more exciting teams we've seen in the division in the Alpha T's. I am Piz Del Riz with your play-by-play. I'm joined by Justin Blanchard and Simon Dagenet. You see there, that's the whole lineup that we have in terms of all of our officials, Tanner Burrell, Craig O'Brien, Sean Murdrowski, as well as the rest of our team, and the executive producer who I'll give no credit to.
You deserve none. It's not given many.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How's it going, gentlemen?
Doing good.
Ready for the finals?
Always.
Thoughts before we start?
Well, obviously this has been a pretty exciting season. It comes out, we have obviously the 12th seed in one conference, Frosty Bronsons, taking on the number 3 seed in the other conference, Alpha T's. It was very comparable to begin with, on the Alpha T's side, coming in their second season as a team, making a QB switch with Jesse Dupuis. And on the other side, obviously, you have Frosty Bronsons also in their second season as a team. A bit more of a tougher season, if you will, for Frosty Bronsons, having to win that the Week 10 game.
And keep us out.
Yes, making the playoffs. And Alpha T is really, starting 1-1-1 before just flying through just about every team that they faced to finish it 1-1.
It took a while for Justice Dupuis to get his feet under him as quarterback. We see him coming to the game. He has a cast on his non-throwing hand. The team put it to a vote as to whether or not they would cut the cast or if you'd play with the cover. The team voted to cut the cast off and pay for a replacement cast, but Justice Dupuis vetoed that, decided to play and consider his own health, and went with the cover on the cast.
Well, we've seen in the past QBs play with the cast on a weaker non-throwing hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. It's tougher to catch snaps. You do lose a bit of time because you usually use a non-throwing hand to catch the snap properly. But in this case, he's going to have to figure it out. He's been warming up for about an hour before the game. I saw him take a few snaps. It doesn't look so bad. I'm pretty confident he's going to be able to play really well.
Will this affect Jesse Dupuis on defense, being that he had, I believe, 9 interceptions on the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a huge loss in that sense, losing that other hand, be able to make interceptions. But at the same time, Alpha T's are so well balanced all across the board. Multiple guys with really multiple INTs. I'm not too worried on the interception side of things.
Frosty Bronsons are in their huddle, calling the first play. James Nowakowski, the guy who threw the most interceptions with 23 during the season, having a great postseason. Terry Tam ready with the snap. This is the first play of the game. Division D, Frosty Bronson, Alpha T's. Nowakowski looks to Tam. Tam makes the catch in the middle. Lots of contact. Makes about a 6 or 7 yard catch.
It's a great first play to start the drive. You just want to get going. You don't want to get the jitters out of yourself, and it's a nice way to go. You go to your playmaker, Terry Tam, and you move the chains.
Yeah, this is a really key first drive here. I mean, in the sense that, Frosty Bronsons are built to play with the lead. They're not necessarily made to come back. Mm-hmm. This drive is really, it's really going to be a tone setter, if you will, in terms of James's confidence and also obviously in terms of, scoring points.
We're seeing again another long huddle. Do you think that's by their intention?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to kill the clock as much as possible. They know they're not going to score 7 times, so we might as well not get 7 possessions.
Nowakowski on the high snap, looks over the middle of the field, delivers quickly. The ball is caught by Lonnie Johnson.
Lonnie Johnson to come back to bail his QB out. Lonnie has been a quarterback for a long time in FPF. You know as a receiver what to do in those kinds of situations.
And I didn't see if we had the replay there or not, but the sideline hooks anyway right from the start are wide open. You had GM on that 10-ish yard hook. I don't know. This
team doesn't throw there though.
Right. Well,
we have seen that with James Nowakowski. Is he doesn't like throwing to the sideline.
No, that's true. But this is the finals. I mean, you have to take what the defense is going to give you, and that was really close to being a sack there. So we have to see what whether James is going to let him know, and if James is going to start throwing that pass.
Dupuis on defense, calling out defensive positioning. Ball thrown over the middle. Nice throw and caught by Alex Hollowak. He turns, he twists, he gets deflagged at the 1.
Great spin move by Alex Hollowak to get away from the first defender, break some tackles, gain about an extra 15 yards after the broken tackle. Huge gain for Frosty Bronsons.
Now we see Frosty Bronsons at the 1 yard line. Simon, what would you call here in this spot?
Knowing the way Bronsons played the route, I'm guessing the ball's going to go probably to Terry Tam on a quick slant. Terry Tam being the snapper on a quick slant out. it's very tough to cover when you're playing defense in FPF and red zone with such small distances to cover. So I'm guessing Terry Tam will most likely have the first read.
Do you think the size of the Alpha Tees will cause much of an issue for them in the red zone, Justin?
I mean, it's possible, but Terry Tam is also a pretty big guy himself as
Noticed.
well as Alex Holloway.
And there's a
There it
toss to Terry Tam.
Yeah.
Terry Tam takes on 3 hits, probably several concussions, scores a touchdown. Bronson's up 6-0.
So this is what we usually see from veteran teams, where they know what works in FPF, know what really doesn't work, and know their strength. They know it's very tough to cover a snapper on a slant, and that's exactly what we saw right here.
Yeah, really a perfect start for Frosty. I don't think they had a single incomplete pass on that drive. You didn't see James look to run at all. He stood there in the pocket. This is exactly what Frosty need to start this game.
That's what I'd like to see later in the game if Nowakowski's able to not necessarily run, but
Buy time.
change the windows and buy time and
Sure.
get to, because we've seen the rush get to him a couple times where he's delivering the ball off his back foot, Valley getting in his face.
I feel like that's something he might be keeping in his pocket for later. He doesn't want to use it right away. Here he goes back to Terry Tam on his pass, drop, batted down-ish. But at the same time, it's the play was there. Great read by James, and now they're back on defense.
Yeah,
very good, impressive.
I wouldn't be
first drive.
surprised to see them go back to that on another convert play. But regardless,
It's a very good first drive from Frosty Bronson.
Well, we see here James Nowakowski goes 4 for 4 on about 4 minutes, a little under 4 minutes of time possession.
perfect.
Did you expect that against this Alpha Tees defense?
No, I mean,
No.
definitely not.
Resounding no from the broadcast team.
Listen, the first time that these two teams played against each other earlier on in the regular season, Frosty started off on the wrong foot, intercepted right away, and the Alpha Tees took the lead and never looked back since.
Justice Dupuis delivers the ball to Alex David, who doesn't fall on the ground and continues up the sideline to get
Surprising.
many yaks.
No, very good play by Alex David to go straight slant out. He was open because the guy covering was behind him. Managed to just cut the corner on him and then got about 20 yards from
Yeah, essentially
that easy
a very tough D-flag in that situation.
Yes.
So Alex David taking advantage of that and turning it upfield.
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, if the cast is bothering Jesse at all, I didn't see it there. That was a very quick release. He got set very quickly. I don't think it's going to bother him during this game.
He came without the cast to the press conference. His finger is shaped like an S. It's
Good, thanks.
terrifying.
Thanks, Bees.
Some insight right there. Justice Dupuis taken off right. He looks, raises his hands, and he's forced out of bounds by Alex Holloway.
Just ran a good, I would say a good 10, 11 yards, got a first down on the run. It's what Jesse Dupuis, what Alpha Tees does really well is you're playing short coverage because you know they're running slants, you know the receivers are really good, and then Jesse Dupuis just takes off and there's no DBs to stop him.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the individual matchups that I talked about in my the last article. I mean, Thomas Zorko having 19 sacks during the regular season, made the All-Stars. He's going to be absolutely key if Frosty Bronson hope to win this game. He simply cannot let that happen because once Jesse gets outside, that corner is all his.
And Dupuis now waiting for the snap in the red zone. He'll need to throw, however, to score their first touchdown of the game. He puts it up into the air, and Hull unable to pull it in. We saw there Hull going up there. That's a matchup that we want, that they'll want to see all day long,
Oh, yeah.
but unable to bring it in.
It's the first incomplete of the game
Mhm.
in the red zone on the first down. It's not a kind of down really matters, to be honest. It's the kind of down that if you throw it away, it's not incomplete. It doesn't
It's a safe
matter.
throw. It's a safe throw.
Yes.
Because best case scenario, it's 6. Worst case, it falls harmless.
Exactly. So now you get a second down, still red zone. It's a very comfortable position to be in.
Yeah, just don't be surprised to see Jesse Dupuis go to him again. I mean, Matt Hull has been the guy down in the red zone with 17 touchdowns in the regular season.
He's 9 feet tall, so that's probably
That also
why.
helps.
Justice Dupuis receives the snap, looks towards Hull, delivers, and it is touchdown for Flag Jesus.
A great play, just a little quick little out route there in front of Alex Holloway. And again, I mean, I also talked about in the article, who are you going to put on a big guy like Matt Hull?
That's probably the best
And
matchup. Is Alex
that
Holloway.
that's the best matchup that they have. And so far, I mean, 1 for 2, if you will, on the completions.
It looked like Bronson was running the lanes on defense. As soon as he saw the corner step back, he had the smash out wide open from Mathieu Hull, and Jesse read it perfectly.
Justice Dupuis waiting for the snap on the convert. He looks over the middle of the field, delivers to the corner. Alex David goes up, catches it, and falls.
And
Convert for Alex David.
Yeah, we're hearing from the referee. The
Oh,
convert
wait.
is good. The convert
There's
is
some
good from
discussion.
the The snapper went on a corner route. It's something you don't see often in FBF to see the snappers go on corner routes behind the receivers, but it's very effective.
Yeah, great play call. I mean, yeah, exactly as Simon said. I mean, you very, very rarely see a snapper run the corner.
Most snappers
you would know.
More snappers are peas-like than Alex David.
And I mean, Alex David, so athletic, runs great routes. That play was wide open, and it's, it doesn't get mentioned that often, but converts,
Converts are huge.
But for Alpha T specifically, who have kind of struggled, if you will, during the regular season, converting maybe 20-25% of their converts. So that to them is really big.
Terry Tam makes the catch. A little bit of contact.
Alex Holloway.
Alex Holloway makes the catch. My mistake. Alex Holloway makes the catch. A little bit of contact there, but another nice tight play, and that's what James Nowakowski does. He gets the ball, delivers quickly, and we're seeing it work so far for Frosty Bronsons.
Not knowing how this game would turn out, I wouldn't expect James Nowakowski to be perfect at this point in the second drive. He hasn't thrown incomplete yet. He looks poised and under center. This is exactly what Frosty Bronsons needed from him, and it's exactly what they're getting.
Terry Tam does a flick of the hair as he gets ready to snap the ball on second down to James Nowakowski. Nowakowski receives a little bit of a low snap. He cocks, he puts it up. And we see a flag, potentially contact, potentially pass interference. Referee looks to mark the ball, so it might actually be spot a foul, pass interference.
Yeah, James Nowakowski, running just a very basic look one way and then pump it back. Going to a very, very little utilized receiver, Josh Milik-Senecal. Very close, good diving attempt, but looks like they got the penalty, so first down.
To be honest, though, looking at that, it's a tough call, obviously, but there wasn't a ton of contact, so referees setting the tone early in this game.
It's a tough call, but it's the one you expect in the finals. Referees have been spot on this season with these type of calls. When you see both guys going for it and one guy follows, something happened.
Yeah, I think it was more the right arm of Elliot Lambert that was extended that maybe kind of gave the ref the indication it was pass interference, regardless of whether it was or not.
Well, like I said, they're saying tone. They're saying if you put your arm out, we're going to call it pass interference.
It's excellent. It's exactly what we need and want. And now Frosty Bronsons
it's something we say all the time as players, right? Like set the tone, and then we know the rules of the game.
Now Frosty Bronsons are back in the red zone, and still no incompletes technically from James Nowakowski.
Nowakowski ready in the red zone, gets the ball, looks to his left, delivers.
Perfect.
Touchdown, Alex Holloway at the feet of Jeremy Ledoux.
James Nowakowski looking like a wily vet. He stared down GM in the back of the end zone, pulled the cornerback back with him, and Holloway was wide open for that little quick out.
For a second there, we know that he's played many seasons with Norman Belair as quarterback. Norman Belmer. He looked a little like Norman Belmer on that early. Very sidearm, quick delivery. Great to see Nowakowski utilize that and get the Holloway in front of the end zone. Nowakowski releases the ball. Cox looks to the back of the end zone. Terry Tam catches a corner of his own. Alex David, you're not the only one who can run that route, says Terry Tam.
That was a very important convert for Frosty Bronsons. They were only up by 5 points. Now they're back up by 6, putting the game within reach again for Alpha T's, but they're not down.
This is so typical finals. I don't think any of us could have called that Frosty Bronsons would be up 13-7 at this point in the game.
That said, there was a picture posted of a shirtless Alex David at a party last night, so perhaps it's affecting the Alpha T's.
Yeah, very possible.
It doesn't affect Alex David. A very good game so far.
But it might have. We don't know. And it picked off Jean-Sébastien Collin.
Jess Collin has been making plays for Frosty Bronsons when he's been showing up for his team.
And the thing is, he's not a guy people talk about so much as a defender, but
he's a very defender.
He's such a big body, and he closes quickly, gets that big body in the way. Maybe that's the best matchup against Flag Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Dupree was staring him down the whole way. Collin just, very simply stepped in front of him. And that is only Dupree's eighth pick of the entire season,
including playoffs.
Including playoffs. So Dupree actually the one looking a bit more like the more rookie quarterback, if you on that play.
That was impressive makeup speed from J.S. Collin, who undercut the route. And there you go. Frosty Bronsons are back with the ball, and they could take a huge lead here.
Nowakowski fakes. Now he takes off. We're getting some feet, but Valley comes in, gets the flag, minimal gain.
Monster sack.
It's a sack.
For minus a yard.
Yeah, 1 yard.
Great sack.
That's a monster sack from Marc-Antoine Vallée, who got burnt on the move from James Nowakowski, made it back, got the sack, And now we're thinking, can James actually run against this defense?
Well, at this point, I mean, I think he's kind of proven he doesn't really need to move the ball, you know. So I would keep going with what's working. I mean, I think it was just kind of testing him there just to see, you know, what kind of edge that Valley will allow him to have. But
if he was thinking it's first down,
yeah, exactly.
how bad could it be?
We have now Nowakowski in the ball, putting it up deep. Ball a little underthrown to Alex Hollowak.
Great defensive play by 24.
Maxim,
Ledoux?
Yeah, Ledoux.
Yeah. Jérémy Ledoux.
Jérémy, sorry, yeah.
So Jérémy Ledoux. He was placed perfectly, read the ball right. It was on the throw for Alex Hollowak, but if the ball was slightly higher, Ledoux would have brought it down. Yeah, the perfect body position for it.
That was James Nowakowski's first incompletion. Guys, we see a lot of times with mobile quarterbacks, when they get sacked early, that tends to affect their game, and they stop running. So that sack for Valley might affect this game in ways we can't even quantify this time.
Yeah, it's very possible, but again, I mean, we'll have to wait and see, you know, how Nowakowski responds to it. You know, it's not that bad. It was just a 1 yard sack. You know, basically a run for no yards gained, but.
Nowakowski throws just to Dupuis this time, undercutting the route, unable to get there. Lonnie Johnson unable to make the catch.
Yeah, that's 2 dangerous throws in a row, and it's now 4th down. You know, very unfortunate here if the Frosty Bronsons don't get this first down, because you're not going to get many turnovers against an offense like Alpha T's.
But see, here we saw what happened with Jesse Dupuis with the cast on his hand. He was forced to go with his right hand to bat the ball down instead of his left one. He could have made a one-hand pick. We've seen him done it in the season. Can't pick a ball with a cast on, so he had to go with his other hand, and body positioning was
very interesting decision here by Frosty to go to punt the ball. So obviously the first year that we have this rule, you know, if you punt it inside the opponent's side of the field, it goes down to the 1. So really making use of that strong defense, betting that the defense is gonna bail them out here.
Well, they're bidding on They're bidding on Thomas Zolkor to make a play. Jesse's sitting in the back of the end zone. It's a tough position to be in as a rusher, as a quarterback, and then he has a cast on his hand. So if he can't get the ball fast enough and has a clean release, we might see a sack for a safety.
Plus, for a second, he almost took the snap from out of bounds.
Exactly.
So that would have been interesting as well. Dupuis getting ready at the back of his own end zone. A little bit of a high snap from Alex David. Brian Mongeau open over the middle of the field. Brian Mongeau, great catch.
Huge game.
Guys, Brian Mongeau, is he the man FPF forgot for a couple of seasons? I mean, he used to be a stud in Flag Plus football, and he's back and he's making an impact.
He was a monster player back about 2012 then he stopped playing for 2 or 3 years. He's back now, and that was a huge play by Brian Mongeau. He ran this play perfectly, was wide open, made a difficult catch, and now he put his team back in a very favorable position.
Yeah.
Back in 2012, Justin Blanchard, you were still in diapers, so you definitely did not see him play.
No comment.
Dupuis no longer in the shadow of his own end zone, looks on into the Bronsons' end zone. He gets the ball in his hand, goes to his right, delivers a deep ball. It floats, and it is caught by Marc-Antoine Vallée. Touchdown, Alpha T's.
Yeah, just a very basic man across the board from Frosty Bronsons, and it looked like it was a Daily Jazz who just got flat out burned on that post in the back of the end zone. And listen, the gamble from Frosty didn't work out the way that they wanted to, but you know, they're still in this game. It's tied right now, 13-13.
There's a beautiful pass from Jesse Dupuis. Team's tied, going for the convert to take the lead. It's a huge momentum swing. Since Bronson's got the pick, they were feeling very confident, got stopped, forced a punt, expecting, hey, we might get a stop here, might get them to force a 3 and out, and then they scored with a very favorable position.
Alpha T's showing everything they got, being not quite the T's this game. Dupuis gets the ball, looks to his left, delivers a high ball to Alex David, who catches it, falls, and is out of bounds. I will say it every time he falls.
You will. We expect you to do.
Because
that game's tied at 13. Bronsons get the ball back, but let's not forget that Alpha T start with the ball in the second half. So this is a very important possession for
and it actually looks like Alex David did get both feet in as he was falling.
No, it looks like they're straight, like just out of the line. The blue line's right in front of his feet.
It's tough. It's a tough call.
I mean, yeah, it's very possible that his heel landed on the blue
yeah,
line.
I mean,
from this angle, it's a bit hard to
It could be touching the line from this angle. We could tell our cameraman he needs a better angle.
Seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
Fired. Who was it? Ryan Reedy? Fired.
Right now, fired. Done.
And Nowakowski gets the ball, to GM Kalethris, who we hadn't said his name all game long. We may have thought he was fired because we hadn't heard from him all game long, and yet he makes a quick catch on the
And
sideline, as you said.
Yeah, speaking of hearing from, I think GM went over and told him, listen, they're giving me the hook all day long. Give me a chance here. A bit of a low throw, but GM made a good adjustment on it, and he gets a good few yards there.
Once you start using those sideline hooks, the defense has to adjust, has to take it into consideration, and it should open up the field more for guys like Terry Tam, Alex Hollowak, and Lonnie Johnson.
And we see again, they're giving up that sideline. But George Voyer does crash on it and allow Alex Hollowak to make the catch in the middle of the field as he spins in front of the casted Jesse Dupuis.
Yeah, just a wide open hole in the middle of the Alpha T's defense there, and it's Alpha T's. They know, they saw the stats. The big guys for Frosty Bronson are Terry Tam and Alex Hollowak. You take those two guys away, you make it very difficult for Frosty to move the ball, and so far they haven't done that at all.
Can Alpha T's go towards playing more man in that they seem to have favorable matchups across the board?
Well, they might be keeping out like the ace in the receive for a second half to surprise James with something different in the second half. So far, their defense hasn't been working out well. They need to find a solution.
Terry Tam catches the ball as Nowakowski floods. A quick out from Terry Tam, a quick out from Alex Hollowak, and a deep route by Jim Kalethris. Just has to pick the hole, pick the right one.
And again, back to, if it's not Hollowak, one play, it's Terry Tam, and it's one, it's the other. At this point, Alpha T's really have to start looking to maybe making some adjustments defensively. I don't know if I would keep showing man in the second half. You're trying to win the game. You're trying to stop the other team from scoring. First half points still count.
Of course.
So
it's a tight game, right?
Yeah, they need to look into doing something else.
Nowakowski throws the ball. It is undercut and almost picked off by Brian Mongeau.
Great play by Brian Mongeau, we mentioned earlier as a defensive piece, but he's a very good defensive player as well. Undercut the route perfectly, had two hands on the ball, couldn't pull it in, but it's still a very good play.
And that's the thing that Alpha T's does, is they take advantage of every little thing. So if you're James Nowakowski, you can't be staring down throws. You can't be making errant throws. And just a step too slow for Brian Mongeau, as we see in our replay.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of his throws, but I'm pretty sure that was only his second completion of the day, so it could be worse.
He's doing all right.
He's doing pretty good for himself.
Nowakowski rolls, tosses, Kalethris catches the ball, spins, and he's in for a touchdown. GM Kalethris with a touchdown in a championship game.
Well, you probably asked him. He's been in the championship game before.
Still shocked. Still shocked.
Just a great play. The old QB rolls to one side, and he has the
pitch from the
the pitch run option. The run was completely taken away. Kind of a difficult throw.
Well, and GM made a smart play. Instead of just continuing his drag, he actually stopped in the hole and then waited so that way he wouldn't overrun that toss.
Yeah, and then we saw the patented GM run backwards into the end zone.
And the
spin
the
move.
three hop, and then the 3-hop celebration is the thing. Triple hop. Nowakowski gets the ball, surveys. Throws a no-look corner or post to Alex Hollowak. It's caught in the back of the end zone. Touchdown. And we said, look, Nowakowski, you can't stare down your throws. He decides not even to look.
Don't even look there. I trust Alex Hollowak to come down with it. Great play. Awesome bronsons design. And now Bronsons are up by 7.
Yeah, and now the pressure is on here. It's on Alpha T's, and this is where it gets interesting. Dupuis, for all of his achievements this season, it's still his first season as a full-time quarterback. So, it's the finals. Alpha T's haven't been in this situation too often this season, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond here.
We're looking at about 2 minutes, 2 minutes left in this first half. We'll see how Alpha T's can punch in before halftime.
And it is caught by flag Jesus Mathuhul, who falls to the ground.
Very lucky there. Missed flag by JS Collin. If Hull keeps his ground, he's pretty close to getting to the end zone.
I think that just the sheer size of J.S. Collin knocked him down as he was trying to get the flag.
Well, they're both big bodies, right? One next to another. Neither look that tall, but they're monsters.
Yes, they are actually monsters. They're in those video games where you see those big creatures crushing the cities. That's what they are.
That's just Collin and Mathuhul.
Yeah. That's how you describe that matchup.
If it was 2005, they would be Godzilla.
Exactly. And we have Alex David ready to snap to Jesse Dupuis. Dupuis waiting, receives a high snap again, one-hands it with his good hand, tosses it up. It's a duck, but it is caught by Alex David. Perhaps thinking of his route instead of his snap. Great catch as he brings in the ball as he goes to the ground.
Jesse Dupuis keeping his composure and just launching it into that corner. It was either Alex David or no one. Alex David just bailing his QB out there with a great catch. And
after a bad snap.
Yeah.
He also snapped it poorly.
Very true, but he made up for it there with the good
100%.
catch. Tough break there for Frosty, who every time it seems that, they have a good drive going, they get the lead. Alphatise come back in 2-3 plays and they tight right back up.
But that's the thing is Alphatise have been so explosive all season long, and we're seeing it. And we're seeing it from guys like Alex David is not known as being a deep threat in this league. He's known as being a possession receiver.
Yeah.
But his role in this team is very diverse. This whole team seems to be able to score with any player at any time. Spree gets the ball, he looks over the middle, delivers it to Alex David in the front of the end zone, he drops it. And the flag, we see the flag hitting the ground, but he was deflagged before he got the ball.
Yeah, if he catches that,
he might have fell also from running. It's a
Well, because again, it is Alex David.
Regardless, if he catches that ball, he's in. And the game is tied at 20. Instead, Frosty here with the lead, 5 plays and a chance to score. This drive is huge.
Watching that play, he actually fell twice running. So it's,
Well,
it is likely he wouldn't have gotten it.
Alphatise mentioned in the press conferences that they don't key on one single player to have an offense. They try to pick on the weaknesses of the defense, and this is what we're seeing today. He's not looking to guys like Jean-Louis. He's not looking so much to guys like Mathieu. He's going to Alex David. He's going to different pieces, and it's working really well for them.
James Nowakowski ready to get the snap. He gets the snap. He looks over the middle of the field, throws up a bad ball. It is luckily not intercepted by Ledoux in the middle of the field.
Yeah, that was a bit more of the the regular season Nowakowski there. Kind of flustered. Valley was right up in his face and just tossed it up, hoping that his receiver Josh
He forced
could
it to Josh.
into double, if not triple coverage there.
He forced it to Josh, and that was a good play by Jeremy Ledoux. Just a bad drop from him.
Yeah, Josh Malik Senecal not able to make that play.
But this is something you should not even be throwing at. He had 2 safeties on him. He wasn't even over top. It wasn't underthrown. And the receiver just couldn't make a play on the ball.
Yeah. To your point, Simon, we have no catches for the Alphatise for Georges Voyer, as we have Nowakowski throwing to Lonnie Johnson over the middle of the field. But no catches so far for Georges Voyer, who's typically a very big part of this offense.
Yeah.
We saw in the regular season, he had 23 catches and 10 touchdowns.
See, yeah, that's what we mentioned earlier. Is the Alphatise, the way they run their offense, they use different guys. If you look at the playoff stats, every single week, somebody was leading the yards as a receiver. They never had the same guy leading. It's a very interesting offense for them. It works really well, and it's been working tonight. Now Frosty Brunsons are back at it, and their offense is actually making plays rather than the defense is simply not.
Terry Tam gets ready to snap. Nowakowski ready to receive that snap. It's in his hands. He looks over the middle of the field and throws it again, once again short, as Alex Hollaback running that post, being trailed by Georges Voyer, who was able to get in and make the play.
At this point, again, one of the very few incomplete passes from James Nowakowski, but it seems that each of them, it's either a pick or
or an almost pick.
Yeah, exactly. No, but in the sense that it's not just a pass that he's throwing out of bounds or to someone's feet. It's really he's throwing it to an Alphatise player, and he's lucky that it's just dropped every time.
It was the exact same thing where he forced it to one of his guys. It looks like he called in the huddle. You're in the post, I'm hitting you end zone. And the defense is there, and he's not reading it properly.
Nowakowski getting ready to hopefully read the defense this time around. Gets the ball, flips it, delivers it to no one.
Yeah,
as Joshua Malik Senecal was trying to get there.
No one is better than Alphatise.
That's true.
There's an improvement here. Contrary to where his screen is saying, Frosty Bronsons are up by a point. So it's the last play of half. Bronsons are up by 1. They're not starting with the football, so Alphatise really need to stop here. But this is a huge play for Bronsons.
And the scoreboard is now fixed. Frosty Brunsons are winning 2019. Well spotted.
Someone's listening.
Someone's paying attention. So we have now, guys, if you're Frosty Brunsons right now, what do you do?
Listen, honestly, at this point, if I see Jesse Dupuis go back up right in the middle, that's the one place I would attack with his, with the cast on his hand. There's very few chances that he's going to be able to pick that ball off.
Interesting.
He can still make a play, though.
So deep
very
down the
true,
middle?
but it's the last play of the half.
Hollaback goes up, it hits him in the hands, and he is unable to make the catch at the corner of the end zone. He would have been inbounds as well.
He had 2 feet in. There's a nice tiptoe from him. He just couldn't secure the ball. It's a very tough catch to make, or behind defenders like that, they're screening you, but still the kind of play you expect from your number 1 receiver.
Tough break there for Frost. He really had a chance to put the pressure on Alphatise for the second half. Instead, it remains a 1-point game.
Looking at the replay, gentlemen, it looks as though at the last moment, Holloway turns his head to look down at the sideline to see if he's in bounds, and that I think is what cost him that
Very
catch.
possible because both feet in, he definitely would have been in.
He had the ball, and as he turned his body to bring it down, he looked down for the ball, and that's where he dropped it when he looked down for the line, because he had to turn instead of dropping.
But listen, regardless, overall as a half,
Very
one
impressive.
of the best halves that football that Frosty Bronx have played all season long.
And this has been an entertaining game. It's not just close, guys. This is a game that's been back and forth. Both defenses have made plays, both offenses have made plays, and it's kind of been a game that's favored both teams in a strange way. Like we've seen the quick attack from Alpha Tees, we've seen the slow, the muddy track, so to speak, from the Frosty Bronsons. So, Justin, if you are either of these teams, which what are you changing for in halftime?
Well, for Frosty, to be honest, I wouldn't really change much. I mean, James is throwing the ball well. He's mostly making good reads. Minus the few really bad passes here and there. That's almost an almost pick every time. Otherwise, they're moving the ball really well. He's spreading the ball around as much as you really see James do. In a game. He's keeping the throws to Terry, keeping the throws to Alex Holloway, but he's still trying the other guys once in a while. On the other side of the ball, for Afatis, they have adjustments to make. I mean, you really have to key in on Alex Holloway. You have to either go man on him, and especially with a rookie quarterback, a second-year quarterback like James, shifts defensively. Movement on the defense side of the ball, give James different looks. Should really help them in terms of finally maybe making one of those interceptions.
A name we haven't mentioned too much in this first half, Simon, is Thomas Zorko. Why do you think he's not having an impact on this game?
Well, usually Thomas Zorko is a much better rusher in the second half than the first half. We've seen this season as he adjusted to the quarterback he's playing against. Justin Dupuis is a very fast guy. He's quick. As soon as he touches the ball, he's either releasing really fast, so Zorko doesn't have time to have an impact, or he's moving right away. And he's fast enough to get away from Thomas Zorko.
Mm-hmm.
So far we haven't seen an impact, but I expect Thomas to make adjustments to become more relevant during this game, and I could see him getting at least one sack before the end of the second half.
That's fair. When you look at this game, you mentioned the converts being important. What have the Alpha Tees shown that the Bronsons could take advantage of in the second half?
Offensively or defensively?
Offensively on their converts.
As in when Alpha Tees are making.
No, Bronson scoring on the converts.
I mean, listen, they got what? Did they get two? They got 2 out of the 3. That there's nothing really. James he's making the good reads down in the red zone. I mean, there's really nothing extra for him to do. I don't see anything in particular for them to take advantage of. It's just really, when you're down in the red zone, you look one way and you pass the other. The spaces are so tight. It's just a matter of just not staring one particular guy down. Just because Alpha Tees have that athleticism, have the ball skills to be able to pick that ball off.
Guys,
So
as we look at the bizarrely overlaid graphic here, we
Also
see,
very empty.
Yeah, we see that basically like first downs, Alpha Tees have 4, but they rarely get as many first downs because of how explosive they are. Frosty Bronsons with 6 first downs. The turnover battle is pretty close with the Alpha Tees at 2 turnovers, Frosty Bronsons with 1, and the yardage as well being a difference of 115 to 105 yards. Is the game as close as we're seeing, or is it just one team getting lucky, or has it been actually that close?
No, both teams are playing really well. Both offense are spot on. Quarterbacks are having a really good night. It's just the defense. Both defenses are off, which is something that nobody was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But both offenses are really clicking, and we're going to see in the second half if their defense can muster up something, because the offense has been blowing their part.
Alpha Tees getting the ball. Is this an opportunity for them to take a shot right away?
Definitely. I mean, when you have guys like Matt Hood, like Georges
like
Olivier,
Jesus.
when you Alex David, Mojo, all these guys, they can all take it deep. So it definitely won't surprise me.
Can all take it deep.
Yes, they can. That's what I've heard.
Interesting.
So if he
Interesting
gets the ball-
perspective. Just saying.
He delivers over the middle of the field. Is picked off by James Nowakowski. He brings it in for a touchdown. He decides, look, I'm not only going to get it in on offense, I'm going to get it in on defense.
Listen, this is exactly for Bronson. This is exactly what they needed. They couldn't score in the last drive. Now they're back up by 7, possibly more with the convert. This is exactly what they need.
And
But
I would say, to be honest with you, that that's a better way to score than the touchdown
Oh,
and the half,
100%.
because that is demoralizing.
as a
That is
quarterback, this
tough.
is tough. You know, now you're looking at your
And
snappers.
especially for a new quarterback who hasn't been through this a lot, and a guy who hasn't thrown a lot of interceptions, Alex David waiting forever in the middle of the field.
And
it
again,
gets picked
it's
off.
this is where we're finally seeing really Jesse Dupuis, the rookie quarterback, come out. He stared him down the whole way there, and he had Brian Mongeau open on a post, on the in the back right corner of the field.
It seemed like he could never, and this might be related to the cast, it seemed like he took him forever to get the ball ready to release.
Looking at the replay, we'll discuss it more after the convert.
Nowakowski gets the ball. He looks his left, goes right, puts it to the back of the end zone. Ledoux, Holloway go up for it, and no one gets it but the wall.
Great defensive play by Jeremy Ledoux, who manages to get there on time, bats the ball down, keeps it to 7 points, so Alpha-T's offense has a chance to tie the game again. But as we were mentioning before, just Speed was staring down his receiver. We could see it on the replay, a very good defensive play by James Nowakowski. As his receiver went on the post, instead of sitting covering turf, he literally jumped. The first guy you saw, which was a snapper, jumped right in front of him and got the ball straight in his chest.
Yeah.
In fact, we see him, he was staring him down so much, we saw J.S. Calais also breaking towards the ball, so it would have been a quick tackle even if the ball did get to David. Speed now rolling out, delivering to the sideline. Valet makes the catch and gets deflagged. As Jesse Dupuis tells him, dude, just take it upfield. Come on.
A bit of a more rookie move, if you will. Catching the ball and going backwards instead of just
Well, you lost
moving
maybe
upfield.
a yard or two, so it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not. Obviously not. But you'd rather.
You don't know what ends the world. There's no way you can know that.
You'd rather have
Do
an
I?
extra 5 yards than to lose a yard on the play. But it's a good first play for Dupuis.
Come
Well,
back
he-
after pick six.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he needed to get his rhythm going back.
Justice Dupuis known for his rhythm.
Is it?
Wonderful dancer. Dupuis catches the ball, rolls right, looks like he's going to take off. He's running, gets deflagged by J.S. Collin on the sideline. I think that will be a first down.
Yeah, it's enough for a first down. Just weird there by Zorko. It looked like he slipped on the rush, and the second Dupuis saw that, he took off running. Just a good play by Dupuis there, just taking what the defense gave him.
He metaphorically stepped on banana peel.
Yeah, looking at the replay, you could see that that Jesse Dupuis was just trying to buy time in the pocket, just trying to move a little bit.
That's not what's happening in the
I
replay.
know, but I was expecting it.
But you started by saying, as you see in the replay, and then didn't see it on the replay.
I was expecting it to be.
Well, next touchdown run by on the return by James Nowakowski. Justice Dupuis gets ready to receive the ball after running. He now rolls to his right, delivers over the middle of the field. Dangerous throw, and it falls harmlessly to the ground as Valet not able to get there.
Yeah, if he puts a bit more juice on it, that's a touchdown. But
That was a great read.
Yeah, it was a good read, but at that.
Well, he threw it at the defender essentially. It was just
He did,
It
yeah.
was way too low and not
Yeah.
far enough, and it was a tough catch to make. And the closest person to it was the defender.
So again, if you put a little more juice on it, that was
Exactly.
a
I was
great read.
reiterating.
But it looked like he was throwing back foot. He didn't get enough power in the throw as he wanted, and otherwise could have made a play on that ball, but he wasn't expecting it at all.
From now on, it should be one speed, power. Speed gets ready to receive the ball. He gets it, looks to his left, steps forward, delivers the ball to Mongeau. Tough catch, and he's unable to catch it. Referee Tanner Burrell there to make the call. It looks to be third down
See, again,
for Alpha T's.
what we mentioned, just he stared down his receiver. As he made his cut, he was just looking at one guy, and Josh could see as well that he saw the ball coming there, made a play on the ball, and got there fast enough to make a play on the receiver to enable him from getting the call.
Yeah, and a great call there by the referee. With,
Greg O'Brien, yeah.
with Greg O'Brien, with Brian Mongeau's left foot coming
Oh,
down.
so Brian, I thought that was Tanner.
No, it's Greg O'Brien.
No.
Tanner is the referee.
Oh, there he
behind
is.
the
he's
QB.
head ref. So yeah, absolutely. We saw there that he unable to hold the ball, unable to gain control, and good call. Dupuis goes to his right, and he continues running, continues moving, stumbles, drops the football, keeps trying to pick it up, but the play is over.
There's like the turf monsters out today. I mean, if Jesse's able to keep his balance there, he very well could take it to for at least the first down. I mean, the kid's got the speed for it. Zorko, very peculiar, from a guy like him with 19 sacks in regular season alone, missing Dupuis there. And I mean, the last time that these two teams played, Zorko got him twice. So I mean, it's not like Dupuis has his number or anything. Zorko, if anything, should have his. So it's a bit weird to see him kind of struggling here to get to Dupuis.
This game taking place at the Montreal Canadiens practice facility. Do we perhaps see the Zambonis coming out at halftime and taking care of the turf?
And this is huge right here. 4th down and basically 10 to go.
Dupree getting ready to receive the ball. He snaps it, looks over the middle, has a crossing receiver, but delivers it to snapper Alex David right around the first down marker, and it is called, in fact, first down.
Good old reliable there.
That was a good, fantastic play from Alex David to go out straight on the first down.
Yeah.
He had multiple guys at the same place, which was a bit strange, but he managed to turn out into some sort of natural pick, which allowed Alex David to come down with the ball, literally.
Everything there was
He did
perfect
come down with it.
from Alex David. You know, he ran the right depth. The route was smooth, and he comes up with the big catch. Basically everything but what you do on a 4th down and 10.
Pretty much, exactly. Alex David providing all the support that more peas-like snappers can. Justice Dupree gets the ball, rolls to his right. He shakes, he bakes, he gets the flag at the 1.
He shaked, but he didn't bake.
He might have baked. Again, it might be part of his hidden talents as well as dancing.
Interesting. Justin, any insights?
But just
on dancing, none.
No, it's cookies.
Still none.
Are you a good dancer, Justin?
Terrible.
I see
you a
you
good
as being a
baker?
terrible dancer.
What's up with What's up with the cookies? You got them going?
That said, Georges Alivoye killing it last night on the dance floor. Got to see him do that tonight. We see why he's such an elusive receiver with the ball in his hands. So
Still an hour and a half to go, Justin. What else?
Dupree gets ready to receive the ball at the 1 yard line. Ball snapped high once again by Alex David, but it throws to the back of the end zone. A wide open Marc-Antoine Vallée catches it. It's a touchdown. And
Just your good old basic, everyone hook, or everyone has a short route in the front, and you send one guy in the back on an in.
the big in.
Yeah, versus lanes, that should be money just about every time. And again, Dupree with very quick release there. It wasn't the best of passes. It didn't have to be as long as it got there.
Yeah.
Vallée was wide open in the back.
It looked like a punt.
Yeah.
Like a small scale punt.
We saw on the other side Mathieu Hull taking the turf monster. He also fell on the route against JC Carter. I don't know what's going on, but something's wrong with that turf.
Watch out. They should, they need to tape up their ankles or something, man.
Maybe
Someone's gonna.
he spit on the floor a little bit before,
It's possible.
Not even Flag Jesus is safe.
No one is.
Interesting decision here, going for 2 to try to take the lead.
Dupree delivers it to the back of the end zone. And the aforementioned Hull makes the catch.
Jesus makes the play.
We haven't. Other than someone talking about him falling on the turf, that was the first time you heard Hull's name card in a call in a long time. And he comes up with the big play there over 2 guys for the 2-point conversion.
That was a huge play from Alfred. It's bold to go for 2, go for the lead with so much time left in the second half.
Yeah, but when you have a guy of his ability, just throw it up and he's gonna make a play for you.
But hey, now they wanted momentum. They wanted to get it back after that pick 6 that Bronson's got. Now they have the lead by a point. It's they put the pressure back on James Nowakowski and the Frosty Bronson's offense.
And Matthew Hill having 17 touchdowns in regular season, 6 in the postseason so far, so definitely a red zone threat for them. But Nowakowski gets the ball now. He throws the ball to a falling Terry Tam. Gets one hand on it. Couldn't bring the second. Couldn't bring the ball in.
To be honest, that's his first really bad throw of the night.
Well, it looked like miscues between Terry Tam and James Nowakowski, where Terry stopped.
I think James was thinking that he was gonna keep running. Terry decided to stop in the hole. Regardless, this is very important here. James just needs to keep his cool. I mean, I'm sure that he feels the pressure right now, but it's really not the time to try anything too fancy. Just move the ball right now, get the first down.
He feels the pressure, but at the same time, he's been playing really well this game. There's no reason for him to have the pressure, but it's just the way the game is going on.
Nowakowski delivers the ball in traffic. Dupree undercuts the route, and Lonnie Johnson unable to bring it in. And Justin, you've played with Justice Dupree on defense before. He's great. He's a great deep defender, but he might even be a better flat defender.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely agree with that. Justice Dupree, when he sees that ball come in, he anticipates it so well. He always gets a good jump on the ball. And, tough for him that he doesn't have the use of both hands fully, because some of these really could go for interceptions.
As we mentioned before, he's going with his right hand on the left, but because of the cast, and it's forced him to
exactly.
turn his body against the ball, so there's no way he's picking that ball off.
And all those plays are happening on his left-hand side.
Maybe it's on purpose.
Well, I would imagine so, but unable to make the play nonetheless. And a quick start by Marc-Antoine Vallée. Nowakowski on the delayed snap count gets the ball to Joshua Malik Senecal.
And they're short, however.
Just short of the first down.
And,
That's the difference between what
I
we
like
saw
Jim
from
Colethris, by the way, 20 yards away, pointing that it's obviously a first down with no angle on it whatsoever.
This is exactly the difference between the veteran Alex David, where on the 4th down he runs exactly. He makes sure he's on the line, where Josh sadly was not. He could have went a step further on his route because he was wide open, He didn't, and didn't get the first down.
But even Joshua Milik Senegal could have gone more towards the sideline, maybe gain an extra yard rather than cut back over the middle of the field.
Agreed.
Huge fourth down now coming up.
Nowakowski looks the pitch. He's also eaten up by Turf Monsters, but survives the attack. And then finally, Turf Sharks eat him up.
Man.
It was an interesting play. As he broke the rusher, he had Josh right open on the sideline. He didn't look to.
No, I don't think
he
he's
wants to
going
run 100%.
I don't think he's going to take
Alright.
any chances on a fourth down. You never know, the ball could come out wrong. Anything. If it's fourth down and one. James Nowakowski, probably one of the better running quarterbacks in this division.
He makes a move, almost falls,
Yeah.
then evades 4 guys and then falls.
And then picks up about 10 yards from that run. Listen, it's not something I know much about. I'm not much of a runner. But that was a great play design. To me, I can't go for a run on fourth down. It's just, it doesn't work.
Yeah, never.
They should rename the Brossard Field 3 as the Alex David Field because of all the falling. Joshua Senegal goes up. Josh Malik Senegal unable to make the catch.
Yeah, a bit dangerous there. Maybe going to the wall once too often, if you will. James Nowakowski really staring down one side of the field before flipping it back without really reading that side of the other side of the field before tossing it up.
It's never too often to go to well if you're thirsty. But Senegal, look, again, that's a safe throw. We saw Alpha T's do that on the first down.
Very true.
In the red zone. Put it up. Worst case scenario, it's a ball that's going to land on the ground.
To me, I feel like James is just being greedy about it. He's just trying to punch it in instead of grinding the field. He's been really good at grinding the field every time he tries to go deep. It hasn't been ending well the last few drives. Now he's going back at it again. He should just be hitting underneath and make his players make plays for him.
And we see the Alpha T's seeming to give the outside again, but instead it's thrown inside to Terry Tam and is quickly deflagged by Ledoux.
And again, I haven't really adjusted to Terry Tam underneath. He's really been open every time.
But it's weird. They're allowing like a hole in the middle and then 2 holes on the sideline. They're only they're covering like an umbrella deep.
I don't know what they're really covering, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, it's almost like for James, he's looking he's looking deep. He's looking for his first target. If he's not there, he's checking it down to Terry, who's been there every single time.
Well,
for
why
him.
not, right? If your guy is wide open, use him until he's not.
No, absolutely.
And the guy who's wide open is 5 or 6 yards away from
Yeah.
you. Just put it in his chest and he'll get some yards.
Well, 5 or 6 from line of scrimmage. So,
9 yards from you.
That's
Math
what
lessons by Simon Dagenet at the FPF Finals Division D between Frosty Bronsons, who trail Alpha T's 27-26. Nowakowski for Frosty Bronson. No look pass again to Joshua Malik Senegal. This time around, he gets the ball in the head, so no catch.
Yeah. Now fourth down now coming up, and you know it's been rough here for between Nowakowski and Josh Malik Senegal. Just haven't really been able to connect really all game long, and an unfortunate play there. But they still have another shot here on fourth down.
It was a very interesting play design to go for the over the cone pass. Josh was not expecting it. It was a very the no look. Your receiver needs to know where the ball is going. You need to expect
Well,
that
listen,
he wasn't.
if it was by design, if in the huddle he's telling him, I'm going to throw it no look here, then that's clearly all on Josh's fault.
Yeah.
But
If it's not, if the guy's expecting it in his chest and it's going over the cone where you have to dive for it, you need to at least have the second to realize what's going on, right?
Ball placement issues for James Nowakowski so far on a couple of plays. Nowakowski pats the ball, delivers over the middle. Once again, ball poorly placed. Lonnie Johnson dives backwards, and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
You saw here, he was looking to Jem Kaletris on his first read, who seemed to be open. He saw the corner crash, so he hesitated a little bit. When the quarterback hesitates a little bit, he loses the time he needs. Went back to Lonnie, was wide open, but he was lack of time because of the very good rush from Marc-Antoine
Yeah,
Vallée.
that to me looked like the same play that they scored on with Hollowak underneath the first time. And that time, Alpha T's adjusted well. They covered it right away.
Yep.
And, you know, it really just forced James to kind of throw it to essentially his third read. And unfortunately, you know, Lonnie Johnson wasn't able to get there on the backside.
And that's where we see James Nowakowski not being a natural quarterback, unable to get his feet right as he turned his hips to deliver the ball to the other side of the field. But now we have another not-natural quarterback. Just as we get in the ball, and we'll see if he's able to extend his lead. Spree gets the ball in the chest, looks left, goes right, looks left again, delivers dangerously over the middle. It is caught by Brian Mongeau.
Brian Mongeau gains about 8 yards in the comeback. His route was probably meant to be much deeper, but he saw his quarterback was in trouble. The ball didn't come off as well as planned. Came back for the ball, made a huge catch, and now the team's back out of the end zone again, where Thomas Zokro might have... He had the sack if just Spree didn't release the ball fast enough. And
you mentioned before the broadcast, or at the beginning of the broadcast, Simon, that Alpha T struggled in the first 3 games of the season, but one thing that they had to adjust to was these sort of weird timing throws by Justice Spree, where he holds the ball and kind of delivers it from odd platforms, and the ball's not thrown with a lot of strength. So having to adjust the plays, we're seeing the benefit of having played 14 games now that way. Dupuis gets the ball, looks right, looks over the middle of the field to Alex David, who catches it. It is a touchdown. Alex David to the ground once again, but
hey,
to the
in the
ground
end zone.
in the end zone for a touchdown.
That was a beautiful pass by Jesse Dupuis right over the defender. Strange decision to go to Alex David in double coverage, but hey, it paid out. So look, who
Alex
are we to
David's
judge?
burning dudes in
Yes.
double coverage.
It might have been the party from yesterday. When Alex David doesn't have a shirt, he runs faster.
Exactly. I don't know what they fed him last night, but
I know
man, he's out
Josh
here
looked
making plays.
burnt on the coverage. Alex Allawak was not
Well,
probably
listen,
not supposed to be
he
there.
was there. He was just a step or two behind, and that's
So
all.
burnt.
That's all you. That's all you really need to make a play.
So burned. But
And
if you
that's
have two
a great
safeties
catch.
over there, somebody's open on the field, right?
Yeah,
Like if
no,
you-
exactly.
Somebody had to be open too. So if you hit double coverage, you have someone open at some point.
But
Yeah.
that time it was Alex David who was open
Yes.
in double coverage.
It was a
And,
tough pass, but just Dupuis made it look so easy.
And here we see Alpha T is going for two again.
To make it a two-score
to make
lead.
it a two-score game. So this
With
is-
with the size of his receivers, it just might be a comfort thing for Justin Dupuis. He might be more comfortable throwing on these 2-point converts because he has the receivers to do it.
wow.
And George Alivoye by himself catches the ball as Terry Tam runs over,
It's
unable
for-
to make the play.
His first catch of the game is probably one of the biggest ones for them. Aside from that,
self-destruction
yeah.
it's on right now for Frosty. You can
Yeah.
definitely see they're very dejected. It looked to be maybe some miscommunication. Just kind of looking around. I don't know what the coverage was there. I don't know what it was supposed to be, but clearly leaving that guy wide open in the back
clearly that was not
wasn't
the
part
plan.
of the plan.
But we see here that this was a monster play for Alpha T's. We're now up by 9 points, so 2 scores. Frosty Bronsons have the pressure. There's about 5 to 7 minutes left in this game. Bronsons really need to score quick and make a stop, which is a very tough thing to do.
The last Frosty Bronson's drive was 5 minutes and 40 seconds, so something that they're not necessarily comfortable with. But they're going to have to, as you said, Simo, they're going to have to put up points in a hurry and make a stop.
Well, we mentioned earlier in this game where the game plan for Frosty Bronsons was to kill the clock as much as possible and not get these 6, 7, 8 possessions in the game. And tonight it's been the exactly opposite, where they've been now they know the Alpha T's know Frosty Bronson's playbook because it's like the 7th or 8th possession, and now Frosty Bronsons are in a tough spot.
Terry Tam snaps. Nowakowski rolls to that side but delivers over the middle. Holloway catches the ball thrown behind him. He spins but is quickly deflagged by Justin Dupuis.
So they remain alive.
Timeout by
calling a
Frosty
timeout
Bronsons.
here. So James Nowakowski going back to old reliable number 2. If it's not Terry Tam, it's Alex Holloway making a big catch, a nice little spin there to get the extra yards to make the first down. And it's going to be, I mean, at this point, if I'm James Nowakowski, I might be calling 2 plays at a time here with time running down.
With about 5 minutes, you cannot let the other team get the ball with less than 7 plays on the clock.
Yeah, they're going to have to be really strategic about this here.
So
I mean,
they need to score fast, but Alpha T's also knows this. So they're probably protecting the deep. It's a very tough scenario to be in as a quarterback.
Terry Tam walks over to snap the ball looking like an extra from a potential Flintstones movie. Nowakowski gets the ball. It is put up in the air. Alex Holloway looks down to the sideline and then ends up with a face full of curtain.
Well, the ball was slightly out of bounds.
Yes.
Alex Holloway was there.
Correct.
It's a very tough throw to make as a quarterback. That's a very tough decision. But hey, you went in for it. They're going end zone, and you could see Alpha T's are really defending the blue line.
Blue line and they seem to be forcing the deep throws to the sideline because they know Nowakowski doesn't have a great arm. For a quarterback who struggles throwing a deep ball, it's easier to throw over the middle of the field than it is to hit the sidelines.
no, of course.
Say something, Justin.
He said, of course. He did say, of course.
They're setting up. What more do you want?
Just looking at us like, hey guys,
Terry Tam gets ready to set, gets the ball in the hands of Nowakowski, looking to the back, gets Lonnie Johnson on the backside, close to the first down marker, but at this point, first downs are really not the point.
No, really not. But a big catch nonetheless. Nice soft hands there from Lonnie Johnson, basically in double coverage. And it's now 3rd down and about maybe a yard or 2 to go. At this point, yeah, you just really I guess keep it safe. Don't force any passes. Just get the first down, get the touchdown, and live to fight another down here.
So Frosty Bronsons has not scored a single point since the pick 6 to start the second half.
Essentially, yes. The whole offense has been the defense. Nowakowski looks to run. This time he's quickly deflagged by Marc-Antoine Vallée.
Who gets back there? It's a sack. Turnover on downs.
Another one.
And
Timeout.
that might have been the game, gentlemen.
Well, Yes, unless Frosty Bronson's defense managed to get a quick turnover, a pick, or something very essential. But at this point, it's a very tough position to be in for Frosty Bronson's.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's 4th down now.
Oh.
It wasn't a turnover on downs.
We all thought it was 4th down.
Yeah, we
How
mentioned-
embarrassing.
We mentioned for
Watch the game, guys. You're talking so much back
Well,
here.
Alpha T's also looked confused. I think
And
they
also,
thought
Terry
it was
Tam
fourth.
was walking up the field with the ball.
I think everybody thought it was 4th down.
And then the Flintstone Vitamin himself, Terry Tam, returned to the huddle. So
Who's
Terry Tam.
everybody's a Flintstones now? Right?
No, Terry Tam looks like a Flintstones vitamin.
Interesting.
How does one look like a Flintstones? But what do you say?
Look at him. Use your eyes. That's how.
I just-
Terry Tam getting ready to deliver the ball to James Nowakowski.
And this is the game right here, essentially.
Yes, it is. 100%.
James Nowakowski gets the ball. It's delivered over the middle of the field. Alex Holloway. It's a huge catch.
What
Huge
a
catch
play
out of the back of the
by-
end zone. It's a touchdown. They're going to have to hurry, though.
I want to see that replay.
Yeah, Justice Dupree is waving no like Akeem Olajuwon.
I'm
but
honestly not sure if he got that second foot down.
It looked like a monster catch from here, and we have a good end.
no,
Oh,
that's
no,
a catch.
no, he
That's
got
a
it.
beautiful
Okay.
catch.
No, yeah, he dragged it in.
It's a great catch from a great playmaker.
He
Frosty
didn't only
Bronson.
drag himself in and
Yeah,
bring the ball in.
that's
He
it,
dragged a
that's two.
defender on his back.
Frosty Bronson's declined the convert because now they're down by 3
Yeah.
points. So convert's
Yeah,
basically
Converts are
Yeah,
irrelevant, so they might as well.
they won the time.
Yeah.
There's
Give
about
an
3
extra
minutes
player or
left
two.
in this game. Where Alpha T's are thinking if we score, we win. But grinding the clock, grinding the field could also be a game winner.
They're going to need to jump everything they see. Every short route, every little hook,
Well,
every
you
little quick
also
out.
be careful because I think, listen, if Jesse plays this right, knowing that this is right now, this is where you pump a short hook and you throw that hook and go.
Dupree looks left, looks right, looks left again, then rolls right. He runs, gets the flag for what appears to be a sack. Probably better for Justice Dupree to take a 1 yard sack than lose the ability to run on the next play.
Yeah,
Frosty
very good.
Bronson's looked like they had the perfect defense for what Alpha T's called. Nobody was open. He was reading around. The purple man actually had the right defense this time.
The purple. All right.
Using that mind control.
A great play there by Tom Mazurka to get the sack. His first of the game, and it comes at a very opportune time for them on this very important drive.
I'm awesome at predicting that he would get a sack.
Any chance to send 2 rushers to Justice Dupree on this play?
Well, I would not because he's been looking at his snapper a lot, right? So if he can send double snaps, your snapper's wide open.
Unless you knock him down.
That sounds like cheating.
Flag
Sounds like
Jesus
you're
with
in your
another catch by Matsuhul. He gets about 5 or 6 yards in that. Up to 7 yards on that catch. It looks like the dagger might be right here for Frosty Bronson's.
Well, listen, it's 3rd down, and the Alpha T is anyway for these first.
It's
few
3rd and
plays,
5, right? It's still not the easiest thing to
They
make.
haven't looked to be doing anything but playing safe on this drive at this point. No real deep looks from Dupree.
Justin Dupree does have 2 picks in this game, 1 per half.
No, that's true.
So
Yeah.
it's the kind of situation where you're thinking, hey, if I miss a throw and they pick me off, we could lose this game because there's not that much time on the clock left. So
According to our unofficial time we have here on the scoreboard,
we missed the
there isn't
timeouts.
any times.
There's been 2 timeouts. So I'm assuming
I
it's
understand.
about
That's what I'm saying.
2 minutes
I'm
left.
just for the person at home watching. And it's caught by Marjon. He makes a juke. He is caught. He barely has shorts on.
And the penalty. That
Well,
is
it's a holding
killer.
penalty. It's 5 yards. It's not that. It's not so bad.
It's
But
still, I mean,
that was a
yeah.
great play by Brian Mongeau. The bite time. He knew his quarterback was in trouble. Went to probably a second or third cut on DB. Managed to come back across, be seen by his QB, and get the first down, which was most likely the dagger in this game.
And we really see the frustration now on the Frosty Bronson side. Joshua Malik-Senecal having some words there with some of his teammates. Tough for them right there.
The referees just signal 5 plays left in this game. A first down is the end of the game, but they're in red zone, so there's no first downs.
As I did mention for the viewers at home, the clock we have here is more of a guideline. It's not an official clock. The referees, of course, having the official clock.
Nothing you see on the screen is official.
It's basically soccer.
Except for the football.
Except everything we see here, except, the time.
So it is official. Terry Tam does look like Flintstones vitamin.
It's a thing now.
It's a thing.
I think it's going to be.
Justice Dupree looks, gets the ball, looks left, stops, throws right to Alex David, who catches the ball just short of the end zone, spins, but is deflagged at the 1 yard line by Alex David, by Alex Holloway.
Nice progression there from Dupree. He rolled to his left, was looking to his left the whole time, but he knew exactly where Alex David would be on that play. gave him a good throw, and they're inching up here with second and about maybe a yard or two to go.
To me, at this point of the game, killing plays is more important than actually punching it in. If you do punch it in, you win, right? But if you kill enough plays, you give Ronsons only one play from the 1 yard line. It's a very tough Hail Mary to make. It's the kind of play, either way for Afatis, killing plays is a very good way to go.
And Alex David mentioned last night that early in the season, Dupuis was missing him on open routes, and then Dupuis just started doing his thing. We're rolling to one side, rolling to another side, throwing across his body, and started having a lot of success. And we've seen that all game today as he gets the ball, moves to his right, stops, throws over the middle of the field. All the things I just said prior to the play, and it's Marc-Antoine Vallée icing it. And those Frosty Bronsons too cold in this game.
Well, it's
Should have did there.
It's a story of two tales, to be honest. Two sides, two tales. A story of two halves, to be honest with you. Where Frosty Bronsons had a very, very impressive first half. They started off the second half really hot with the pick six from James Nowakowski, and after that, they've been playing a literally flat out terrible football.
I was more interested in your science fiction erotica with the two tails.
Two tails? You're like, oh, what are these tails going to be?
What can they do?
And on the replay there, you saw for a little bit there, Frosty Bronsons were really betting on the pass in front of the end zone. Let two guys go behind them in the back. I mean, again, yeah, like you said earlier.
Just trying to make a play.
Yeah, you have no choice but to kind of jump everything, and it didn't work out for him there.
And Dupuis throws it up. Mathieu Hood gets the ball deflected by the equally monstrous J.S. Collin.
The Godzilla of Frosty Bronsons. Going for the convert is a risky decision from Afatis. They're up by 9, so the convert's not going to do any good unless they pick it for 6, in which case this final possession could be deadly. But now they're up by 9 points. There's 3 plays left in this game. There's basically nothing that Bronsons could do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bitter end to fairy
A
tale.
little depressing, actually. I kind of want to be here anymore.
You kind of want to leave?
Yeah.
Well, suck to be you because you have another one coming up.
Dude, right after this game. The Frosty Bronsons ready to let the last plays evaporate from this game. Nowakowski gets the ball. He looks, delivers deep. Joshua Malik Senegal not able to get there. It is knocked down.
You made a good play on the ball coming back to Bell's QB out, but the pass was simply not spot on.
Once again, Josh Malik Senegal and James Nowakowski just unable to connect for whatever reason. I mean, granted, it's the end of the game. It doesn't really matter, but it's just a tough way to go out. You still want to go out strong. You want to go with a bit of dignity. To close out a game with the score would be. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't exactly make up for the loss, but regardless, you want to finish strong here.
41-40 looks better on paper than 41-32.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more symmetrical. Makes it look like it was a closer game. Alex Holloway catches the ball over the middle of the field. He spins. He cuts towards the middle. Still spinning, and finally deflagged by George Alivoye.
Still making plays here.
Well, it was a much closer game than people would look at if you look at the score.
Of course, either way, it was a close game. It was a very entertaining game, and a lot more offense than I thought, and I think we all expected.
Yeah, definitely, especially with these two top defenses here.
And 2 new quarterbacks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Afatis came in with the division-leading interception total as a team, 20 in the regular season. Frosty Bronson is more known for making stops on 4th downs, with Thomas Zorko getting all the sacks. And instead, it's been really a shootout here. And unfortunately for Frosty Bronson, they simply couldn't keep up.
The Alpha Tees fan club here, they're loud. They don't care the game's already over. They want to make it as difficult as possible for Frosty Bronsons, as we see Joshua Malik Senegal unable to hold on to it. The game is over. Alex David, Brian Marchand, Elliot Lambert, Georges Alivoye, Jeremy Ledoux, Justin Dupuis, Marc-Antoine Vallée, Mathieu Flag, Jesus Hull.
So many
You
things.
are Division D 2016 champions. Congratulations to the Men in Orange, Alpha Tees.
Imagine that you get like a 20 roster, 20
I wouldn't have done it.
That would've been awesome.
If, for example, it was Frosty Bronsons, I wouldn't have
So
read the
quick
roster.
predictions here, boys. Who's getting the MVP in this game?
Is it really a question? I think Alex David had like 4 TDs in this
Yeah.
game.
And like in a way that you don't expect him to. You don't expect him to have a game where he's catching all these deep balls, catching deep basket catches in double coverage. That's not his game. It's not what he usually does.
Yeah.
So you're giving the MVP to Mr. Fall Down?
Mr. Fall, Mr. Ground.
Listen, he made plays today. All of Alpha Tees really made plays today, and just you have to give this team credit. For a team who's really kind of cruised along the regular season and the playoffs as well, coming back down at the half to really put it on Frosty Bronson in the second half. They simply just made more plays when it comes down to it. Frosty unable to connect on on some of these really key plays in the second half, unable to capitalize on the turnovers that were given to them.
And we see the trophy presentation now as Marc-Antoine Vallée receives the trophy from President Rob Campana, and now the Player of the Game award going to Marc-Antoine Vallée, and a little bit of a disappointment. I thought Captain Gravity Alex David had lost him for sure.
Gravity.
So I guess
Well,
it was kind
he
of a
did get
question.
2 sacks. He did get 3 touchdowns. We forget that Marc-Antoine Vallée was a big impact in the red zone. Something people who will not be seeing this game might not see from the stat sheets is the impact Brian Mongeau had on the game, on the huge 4
absolutely.
downs, the huge.
Yeah.
See, the thing
to
we
move the
don't
chains.
track in FBF that I find hugely underwhelming is that we don't track the first downs. We don't track third and
No.
fourth down
So
catches.
you
We
don't
have no
know
way
who-
of knowing. But
Yeah.
a lot of key players don't always get the recognition. So absolutely, Brian Mongeau, key in this victory.
If you look at his stats, like four catches for like 37 yards is not very impressive. But if 4 catches are on 4th downs, it's a monster game from Brian Mongeau.
Mhm.
Yeah, and on to that point, stats that we should keep that we don't keep is on converts.
Converts, absolutely.
Because very key here today for Alpha T's, making those 2-point converts, they essentially proved to be the difference in what was a 3-point game towards the end, really putting the pressure on Frosty Bronsons. And something that we didn't see them do all too often was converting those converts.
And
And today they stepped up big.
On the other side, Frosty Bronson's obviously a letdown after having such an emotional season, such an emotional playoff run. We saw great performances from Alex Holloway, Jim Clethers with his 2nd ever finals touchdown, and great performance all around. Guys, I don't think they can go home and hang their heads. I think
No, they battle well. They play well. Frosty
they did a great
Bronsons
game.
deserve to be there. They played a very fantastic football, but as you can see on the game report, the second half numbers are not what the first half was. Frosty Bronsons could simply not convert on 3rd down. The turnovers were deadly, if any, and they had about 80 yards in the second half instead of the 115 from the first half, which is probably the dagger.
And imagine after that early pick 6 by James Nowakowski on defense, we thought, hey, maybe this game is swinging. Maybe this is the kind of game that Frosty Bronsons needs it to be, but yet it completely slipped from their fingertips.
Yeah, Justice Dupree, he kept his composure the whole way through. He didn't really let any of that affect him. The cast, the interception, none of that. He stayed in the game in the second half. He played his game. He didn't try to force too much, and it was just easy from that point on for Alpha T's, and really tough here for Frosty Bronsons. Coming in as the 12th seed, really fighting their way through all year long, from the regular season through into the playoffs. With all from the 1-point game over 5-star, the 3-point game over Justice League, before coming back and really laying it to backyard bullies. Listen, they lost today, but they came out and they played well. They came out and I think really surprised us in terms of what we expected to see from Frosty. A lot of people, if you hear the chatter, were expecting kind of a blowout here. I mean, regardless of what the final score was, I don't think you can really call this one a blowout.
course
No, there's no way.
Frosty battled the whole way through, and they just came up short.
And we saw Alpha T's in the playoffs beating All Blacks 50-6, beating Ghosts 48-24, beating Alpha T's 39-19. So the only team that could hang with them in the end was the team that faced them in the finals.
Yep.
And Alpha T's still too strong for Frosty Bronsons to overcome.
Still a fantastic game from both. I'm really impressed with the way Alpha T's came back in the second half. After that pick 6 from Justin Dupuis, we were expecting him to crumble a little bit, the shake off the gates, and then first thing you know, he's hitting passes again, he's hitting deep throws, and next thing you know, Alpha T's are back up, goes for 2, gets the lead, and goes back into the conference momentum. So it was a big momentum switch for Alpha T's to go for that 2-point convert, to get the lead again and put the pressure back on Frosty Bronsons, who simply were not ready for that kind of finish.
Final score 41-32. Alpha T's beat Frosty Bronsons in the Division D finals. For Simon Dagenet, Justin Blanchard, and myself, Pease Del Ruiz from Complex Bell. Thank you all for tuning in. Congratulations, Alpha T's.